Alright, here we are, the SRM 2000, the new board. A little setup. Here we are, we're going to do a test to see if we're making the slots properly in this piece of foam. What does that piece of foam cost? 70 bucks?
So this is worth.
Alright, here we go.
Here's the test run. That was one. That's it. No, but it should still fit. See, look at this. So that should be fine.
And those things are going to mount this big thing that's over on the bench there. Right? Are they? Is it screwed in, or are they?
So these bolts, yeah. There's a.
So they'll bolt in.
They're bolted.
Okay, good again.
I used to have these rails. This is the first board I built with the new upgraded machine.
The
upgrades are, I used to have these roller bearings. Okay, this used to be this is what it used to be. This piece was in the middle here, and this was on here going up and down. But this one only had about 4 inches of travel up and down. This one has 10 inches of travel. So I remade this whole setup because I needed more travel to do all the stuff I'm doing. So I had to redesign this. And then the other thing I wanted to do, I used to use these bearings that roll on this angle stuff, like that. It rolls. But the problem with this is all this stuff, when you're cutting, gets on this, and then the balls roll over, or the bearings roll over it, and eventually it gets so dirty they bind up. So now I have these cylindrical roller bearings, and I put them underneath so when the dust falls, it doesn't fall on them, and it keeps it clean, basically.
So this is an improvement based on experience.
They're more robust with all the material. The biggest problem when I was cutting was having all the wires bind. They would get caught on things. So then I redid the way, I have all these like supports now. This support here is just to hold wires. Keeps it out of the way and keeps the wires from getting snagged on things. Because when you're cutting and if a wire gets caught, it messes the whole thing up.
So I could call this the SRM 3000 Model 2.
Dash 2.
The improved version, the Dash 2.
Then I got all these little cable like holders and just everything to keep the cables from hanging up on each other. That's very important. So yes, I've learned, finally in 10 years I've decided to upgrade the thing. Now if you bought a machine, they would do all that for you. But
so, you made the statement of the 10 years. So when was the very first SRM 3000 used?
Well, I was in my condo in Encino, and this thing was in my spare bedroom.
I have that. I have video of that.
Carpeting and everything.
Yeah. And that was...
Well, I've been in this house since 2010. So, okay. So maybe 12 years ago. There's these little things you slide in. They slide in these holes, and then they stay in there forever.
Keep moving it. I can't... There they are. Okay.
They're inserts.
Yeah.
They're just little... And then the screws go into that. Basically.
Okay, let's recap here.
You'll take a screw or something, a little longer than that, but it'll basically do this. And these can slide. The whole purpose of the slot is you can move. If you don't know the exact position where you want the thing, you put this in and then you can move it and adjust it.
Like a surfing holiday here Yeah, you got your boards, your material. All right, now Steve is telling me some more about the improvements in the SRM 3000, which we now deem the SRM 3000-2, Model 2 with its improvements.
It's actually probably a Model 3.
The new features are the new wiring, the 4-inch to 10-inch horizontal motion, and the vertical motion, and the horizontal.
Yeah, the cleaner
thing. Okay, so now tell us the fourth feature.
These are called linear rails.
Look into the
The
camera.
linear rails
Okay.
are underneath. And
Yeah, whenever we say something.
3 sections of linear rails. There's the X, which is this one, the Y, which are these, and then the Z. You can't really
Right
see
now,
it.
I didn't see. I saw the other one where you had the 4-inch and how it could move. How does this move? Where's it moving? Oh, it's
Well,
behind.
It's not on there right now. But you rotate this. Yeah, it's hard to rotate. But if I
Oh, and it's
spin
got a
it,
screw
it
drive.
goes up and down.
It's a screw drive.
That one is. These are belt.
Yeah, but this one is a screw and
That's
you
a
go all the
screw.
way up and down. Okay, now
It's actually a ball screw.
apparently there's some improvement made
that's
with
the other
this
difference.
orange.
I have a ball screw on here where I used to not have a ball screw. It's something else.
Okay, tell us about the orange feature. This is
Okay.
like, what, the old one?
So the next one is the 3D printed mount. This is the mount for the router. Used to be this,
Yeah.
which is this just cut out of plastic on the CNC
Yeah.
machine. Yeah, flimsy and just doesn't look
So
as
you,
nice. But this thing is, I designed this on my, you know, for the 3D printer, printed it, and it works. It's just way better. It just looks kind of cool too.
how can I do that? I'd have to come around
Yeah,
there.
you gotta come around.
All right, here's the zoomed in.
Oh yeah, pick it up.
Take it out.
Yeah.
Let me stop.
So these are the linear rails here. This is the Y linear rail, and then the Z, there's 2 of them that put that way. And then this guy is what's called a ball screw, which is basically this threaded thing where these ball bearings, there's a mechanism. I think it's inside the middle here.
But it's driven by this motor
Yeah,
on
this
the
is the
top.
motor on top.
Yeah, so it rotates and it's a
It
screw
rotates,
drive.
and then, but it's not just it's a ball screw, so there's ball bearings that go in it.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
just-
but I mean, it's moving up and down as the screw rotates, and instead of being
Basically.
binding, it's got a
Exactly.
much better.
Instead of binding, like, because when you would, yeah, if you don't have a ball screw, it binds, and then
Yeah.
if you do it,
and it is now
so
completed.
I'm gonna actually lift it up. I'm gonna just check something. I'm gonna see,
You're
if,
gonna check it.
see if it's a little more stiff. No, it's still very
Now this is not a surfboard. This is a
how
kite board.
flexible this is.
Yeah, very
There's
good.
no stringer. Which is,
And what would you say the length
well,
of
once
that
we
is?
put, it's 49 inches.
That's a,
I actually designed it to be 4'2", which is 50 inches, but somehow. But let's compare. So this and this was my previous board. Basically the same size. Hydrofoiling is going to be in the Olympics, the Summer Olympics, sometime. I think it's 24, and it'll be under sailing. It's considered sailing.
okay. Carbon fiber. What does that cost a sheet?
A lot.
So the fiber is about $30 a yard. Go ahead, say it. And how many yards would you need for one kiteboard?
2 yards.
So now, if we
About
start
$60
totaling
in
things
carbon.
up, we got $75 for the board material, $60 for the
For the
fiber.
core. Carbon fiber is about $60.
Okay, so you're talking like a $200,
Epoxy is expensive too.
yeah?
Probably about $20 on epoxy.
So we're like $200. What would a person pay for something like that? And they buy it?
800.
800. So